Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining Brunch with Jewelry Nerd. I'm kind of loving this. I just made that up. So we're going to talk about brooches today because I am with my friend Andrew at the Parisian Flea, and he gets asked constantly, how do you wear a brooch? There are multiple ways to wear brooches, and in fact, brooches are probably one of the most versatile things in our entire jewelry wardrobe. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to have Andrew talk a little bit. He's wearing some spectacular brooches. So the first thing that you need to see is a really nice booby shot from me. So I have a tendency to wear wrap dresses and wrap shirts, and as you can see, I'm wearing a little pin to keep my dress or wrap shirt closed. So that's like item number one on how to wear a brooch. It's super versatile like that. I've actually worn brooches on skirts that have slits up the side, and I feel like the slit is just a little bit too revealing, so just to add a little touch of modesty and a little touch of oomph, I have put a little brooch on the top of the slit to keep my skirt from being too revealing. So those are two super easy ways to wear brooches. Another thing that people do is they wear brooches in their hair, which I think is a fantastic idea, especially for weddings. There are a couple of people recently that I know of who have done those beautiful Art Deco bracelets, those beautiful Art Deco brooches, and put them in their hair for their wedding. But you don't have to wait for your wedding to do it. You can do it every day. I know someone who actually does wear brooches for barrettes. The way that she does it sometimes is you can take tiny little bobby pins that are like half the size of regular bobby pins, put them in your hair to hold your hair, and then put the brooch over top of it so that your brooch kind of hooks into the bobby pin and it stays in place and won't fall out. So that's a super easy thing to do. Now that Andrew is bored, I think what I'll do is flip the phone around and he can explain to you how to place a brooch.
Hello there! Welcome to the Parisian Flea. I'm Andrew. So as Nicole was saying, a lot of my customers, they love a brooch. They're not really quite sure how to wear it. Kind of a funny question for people to ask me because it comes so naturally to me, I guess I could say. So here are some tips that I have. Right now I'm wearing this is a vintage late 1930s Mazer brooch, one of my favorites for my personal collection, but I feel like this is a good one to give you an idea with how to put it on. My favorite way to wear a brooch, I love my sweaters, I love my cardigans, my layers, so most of the time, and I think this is good for a lot of people that are not used to wearing a brooch, choose something with a chunky open weave. A sweater's great because you're not going to be, if you're not really familiar with wearing a brooch, you're not going to be poking a lot of holes in your clothing, which is another thing that a lot of people will comment that they're worried about. So sweaters are good to start off with because you're not going to really do much damage to your clothing while you're practicing. So first thing I like to do is I figure out which brooch I'm going to wear, or like what my outfit is going to be. Shawl neck, like the shawl collars are great because, you know, they kind of flip up and roll around, so a brooch is really nice to keep it in place. I start off by kind of deciding in the mirror, and I'm going to flip around to the mirror so that you can see my process, but, you know, we have a little mirror here. So I kind of decide first where I'm going to wear it. Like, okay, that seems like a good height with the drops and everything. It kind of seems like a good place. So I kind of make a note of where the pin starts, and that's going to be like right there. So I'm going to start off by deciding, you know, okay, that's where the pin goes. I'm going to show you another trick in a little minute. I'm not going to do it with this sweater because it's very thick. So I'm actually going through the collar into the sweater and then back out through the collar. And you can see there's the little pin stem there, and then clamping it. So right now I'm not happy with this. It's a little crooked, so no big deal. Just go back in, and it's just about playing. I had one of my favorite customers was very upset the other day. She said she failed brooches. She tried twice to put a brooch on and failed. Don't give up at twice. You just keep determination. It's all about determination. So, you know, there we go. Now I've got it like where I want it.
And
So,
it looks smashing, darling.
Thank you. Thank you. So, another little tip with a brooch, and I'm going to switch to a smaller one, something a little bit more... Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab this... No, I can't get this one off. Haha, there we go. So that one goes off. I'm actually going to grab this little raccoon if it's all right.
Sure.
I think this
Wait, before you take it off.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
One of my little tricks for placing brooches is wearing them on a scarf. And you can take these little neck forms. This is just something that you put a necklace on. You can even just lay this over your bed. And then I put the brooch onto the scarf. And then I put the scarf over my head with the brooch already on it so that it's placed correctly. Okay, now you can take the brooch.
So, and this is a good tip for lighter weight fabrics. I'm going to show you on my sweater. Actually, you know what? I think I can show you on this. Let's use this lovely blue pashmina for a
Yes,
second.
let's.
So, this is a lighter weight material. It's not going to, you know, if you put a heavier brooch on it, it might not work as well. This is a little 18 karat gold panda. Not panda, it's a raccoon. I keep wanting to call it a trash panda, but it's a raccoon. Or a trash panda.
It's adorable, whatever it is.
But this is the detail I want people to see. When you're wearing a more expensive piece, you're a little worried about maybe coming loose. If you weave it through several times, notice this weaving pattern I'm using, because that now makes the pin more secure. If it comes undone, it's less likely to slip out through that. And once you close it, you're really going to get a snugger fit for the brooch. It's going to stay a little bit snugger. It's not going to move around as much. This again takes some practice, and as Nicole mentioned, she mentioned about putting things on your bed to lay them out. I always tell people, if you're not sure where you want to put the brooch, lay your sweater out, lay your outfit out, and just play with it. It's a lot of fun to just kind of decide how you want to wear the brooch, where you want to put it. If you're a little timid about putting them on, I know it took a lot of practice for me to get used to putting a brooch on in the mirror because, you know, you're doing it from the flip. Lay it down on the bed, put it down on the bed while it's laying flat, and you can kind of work with it that way. So, those are my two favorite brooch tips. Again, keep trying, don't give up, get creative, take a minute in the morning when you're getting dressed to play with your brooches and decide which one you want to wear that day. And it's just about having fun and decorating yourself. So get out there and grab some brooches.
Like I said, I'm actually wearing a lot of different brooches. This necklace is a Georgian piece that used to be a brooch, and I converted it by just taking the pin stem off of it. I do this a lot because I really don't mind converting pieces. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that I've learned over the years so that you actually don't have to convert something if you don't want to. Okay, so this is my little tray that I've been working with. This is just a Victorian morning brooch that I converted in a couple of different ways. So as you can see, I have two little loops so that I can wear it as a horizontal necklace, and then I have another little loop at the top so that I can wear it as a vertical necklace. So I've just taken the pin off of this completely so I can wear it vertically or horizontally through a chain. So I like versatility and options, so this is definitely one of those things that gives me both of those. As I told you, I wear those little tiny brooches for my shirts. So I have a huge collection of these little brooches. These are negligee pins that people used to wear. These are fantastic because they're really unobtrusive. They will kind of just keep your shirt or your dress closed, and you don't have to worry about it kind of blending in, or it won't clash with your clothes, it'll kind of blend in. So I have a huge collection of these little brooches that I wear just for that purpose. This was another pin that I just converted completely, sapphire and pearl turn of the century brooch. You can see where the hooks for the hoops are, that's where the pin used to be. So all I did was take the pin off and created the little hoops so that my chain can slide right through it. So this used to be a brooch and it's now a pendant. Don't be afraid to convert something. Okay, I know I've showed you this before and I'm gonna show you again because it is just a fabulous idea. I learned this from somebody who is in the business just for a really super long time. I love this brooch. It's Victorian. They're pink sapphires and old mine cut diamonds. This was one of the first brooches that I ever got. And I didn't want...
That was the brooch you were wearing when we first met, by the way.
That's totally true! No, wait a minute. I thought I was wearing Siam pieces.
No, you were wearing that, and I was like, oh, this girl knows her jewelry.
All right, why don't we just take a little aside and you can tell people how we actually met.
Oh my gosh. So we met in a jewelry store, one that does a lot of my repair work, and Nicole was hired there, and I was not used to people knowing about antique jewelry there. They're very skilled, but use a lot of more modern jewelry, modern styles. So I knew Nicole was starting there, and then I happened to notice this brooch she was wearing with the pink sapphires and the old cut diamonds, and I thought, oh, this poor girl doesn't even know anything about jewelry, and she's got that fabulous piece on. Little did I know, the most knowledgeable person I ever met in my life about jewelry had started working there. So,
Aw, thank you, Andrew.
Well, it's true. And since then, we've learned a lot from each other and
yes.
have a lot of fun times working with jewelry together. But that brooch, yes, that's what made me realize, okay, this girl that I'm talking to here might know a little bit about jewelry. So.
Aw, that's very nice of you to say.
And it's been
Thank
great
you.
ever since.
It has been. All right, so this is my trick of the day, and do not forget this trick because it will save you a lot of money. All right. As you can see, this is a brooch. I did not convert it. Sometimes I will cut this pin stem off just to make it a little bit shorter so that it doesn't poke me when I wear it. But I didn't even do that this time. I just put these tiny little plastic things that go on the backs of earrings over it so that it doesn't poke me. This is how I converted this to a pendant. This particular bail has a little jump ring on the bottom of it. And again, I've taken these two little plastic pieces that are just the backs of earrings. I've slipped one on first onto the pin stem, put the bail with the jump ring right on it, and then slipped another little plastic back to an earring right on the back of it, just to keep the bail in place. So I always wear this as a necklace just by sliding a chain right through that bail now. So I don't think I've ever worn this as a brooch. I think I've always worn it as a pendant just because I did this tiny little trick that I do, and I think I put these systems together for people so they're super inexpensive to do, and they're really cost effective, and they're really a great way to not have to convert brooches and spend a lot of money on repairs. Not like, you know, doing it is a lot of money, but you know, if you're short on funds and you are excited about your brooch, because I know that we all are, and you just want to wear it, that is a super cute little trick to wear your brooches. So one of the ways that, I have been in this business for about 20 years, so I have the added advantage of being around women who had been in the business for 40 years before me, and I learned a lot of tricks of the trade from them. This is one of those ridiculously simple tricks that no one will show you, and it is going to save your life, seriously. This right here is going to change your world. One of the easiest ways to put a brooch on lightweight fabric and have it stay in place is to put a business card behind the fabric and use it as a base to poke the pin through. So this is what it looks like from the top now that the brooch is completely staying in place, and this is what it looks like from the back with the business card holding the brooch in place. So seriously, that blew my mind when the first person told me that, and I thought she was a genius. And in fact, she is a genius. So this is like the mind-blowing trick of the day, as far as I can tell, because obviously I told you. So anyway, I hope that you found all of this interesting, and I hope that you now have some really good ways to wear brooches. And if you have tricks of the trade that you are wearing brooches yourself, please DM me and let me know. I want to hear about it. I'm sure Andrew would like to hear about it too. You're welcome to DM him at the Parisian Flea. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.